The Mexican Sinaloa cartel, one of the world's largest and most violent criminal organizations, is increasingly arming itself with American guns like this one. I was able to track one of the pipelines used by the Sinaloa cartel to bring weapons into Mexico. They are smuggled south through the US-Mexico border. Having covered Mexican drug cartels for many years, I was really struck by the idea that cartel members are not only buying American guns, they are relying on American infrastructure and American participants to build their arsenals that they use to wage wars, terrorize communities, and produce the drugs that end up in American streets. Cartels prefer to source their weapons in the US because they depend on what they call lax gun laws. In interviews, they all said how easy it is to either hire straw buyers, American citizens or residents who walk into a gun store or a gun show and acquire guns in bulk. Anything from handguns to AR-15s, 50 cal rifles. But more recently, we've also discovered that smugglers have relied on other methods. They are driving gun store employees or managers and relying more and more on digital marketplaces. These are WhatsApp and Facebook chat groups. I decided to go to Phoenix after learning that the Arizona-Sonora corridor was one of the most used by the Sinaloa cartel. Smugglers often hide the gun parts in hidden compartments inside of vehicles, and they drive them all the way to Nogales. One of the most striking details of this reporting was how heavily the cartel members rely on what they say are bribes to not only Mexican but US border officials that they say guarantees the safe pass. When we reached out to Customs and Border Patrol, they said that their officers and agents enforce our nation's laws along the border. From there, a Mexican driver takes over and they drive to the final destination. Sometimes the shipment continues to Tijuana, all the way to Topolobampo, or straight down the highway to the capital of Sinaloa State, the cartel stronghold. There, I met with one smuggler who's an armorer whose sole job is to make sure they work. He cleans them, modifies them, and then transfers them to several cells he works for. The surge in the demand for weapons, smugglers say, respond to a three-front threat. They are facing a crackdown from the Mexican government while also waging a very violent battle within their own ranks. And in the meantime, they're also building up their arsenals, preparing for a potential US military intervention.